All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a word you and I use every single day. I mean, it's so common, so basic, that we probably never even stop to really think about what it is we're saying. And that word? It's language. But what does it really mean? When you talk about a language, are you just talking about words? Or is there something, a little deeper, a little more interesting hiding right there in plain sight? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into. So let's start at square one. At its absolute heart, language is what connects all of us. It's the main tool we have for sharing what's in our heads, our ideas, our thoughts, our feelings, with everybody else. Now, our source for today, the Simple English Wiktionary, lays it out pretty clearly. A language is basically all the words a group of people uses, plus the grammar, the rules for stringing them together into sentences. Simple enough, right? But of course, it's never that simple. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It shows how we think about different languages having their own personalities. Our source points out that, English grammar can be pretty easy to get the hang of, but wow, the spelling and pronunciation, that's a whole different ballgame. It's a great way to see language as this complete, unique system. Okay, but here's where things get really interesting. The word language isn't just a one-trick pony, not at all. Depending on who you're talking to or what you're talking about, it can mean totally different things. Think about it like this. First, you've got your classic communication system, like English or Japanese. But then it can also mean jargon, that special talk that only people in a certain field understand. It can even just be about style, like the wording in a document. And these days, we even talk about computer code as a language. This comparison just brings that idea of jargon to life, doesn't it? The example from our source says, "This document is written in legal language." That's a language basically designed for lawyers. It can feel really exclusive. And the complete opposite of that? Something like plain English, where the whole point is to be as clear as possible for everyone. So language can be used to open doors or to slam them shut. So, if language is this big, complex machine, what are all the little parts that make it work? What's actually under the hood? What do linguists, the people who study this stuff for a living, really look at? Well, here are the key building blocks. You've got vocabulary, that's all the words. Then you have grammar and syntax, the rules for how you put them together. Semantics is all about what it actually means. And then you get into the nitty-gritty, like pronunciation, spelling, and even little regional twists we call dialects. These are all the gears turning inside that amazing machine we call language. Now, I mentioned that our source for all of this is the Simple English Wiktionary. And that wasn't just a random choice, There's a really fascinating clue hidden on that very page. A clue that points to a much, much bigger idea about communication itself. See, the very place we're getting these definitions from is part of this whole project dedicated to making information easy to get. It's all about using clearer, more basic language. So this isn't just about defining a word anymore, it's about a whole philosophy of communication. And here it is. This is the little detail that changes everything. Tucked away on the page is this note. Language is on the basic English 850 list. Okay, stop. What on earth does that mean? What is that list? 850. That's it. That's the number. It might not seem like a big deal, but that number, it represents a pretty radical idea about how we all talk to each other. The basic English 850, or BE 850 for short, is this carefully chosen list of just 850 essential English words. And the theory behind it is that with just this core vocabulary, pretty much anyone, anywhere can express most everyday thoughts and ideas. And the word language itself, it's considered one of those 850 essential concepts. So this all leads to a really big question, right? Why would you do that? Why bother boiling a whole rich language down to just 850 words? What's the point of simplifying things so much? And here's the thing you have to understand. The goal was never, ever to limit what people can say. It's actually the complete opposite. It's about building a bridge. It's about creating common ground so that more people can be part of the conversation, no matter where they're from. It's about making sure language does its real job, connecting all of us, not keeping us apart. Which leaves us with a pretty powerful thought to chew on. We started this whole thing just by looking at one word, language, and we ended up with this massive idea that could, maybe reshape how the entire world communicates. It really makes you wonder, in a world that has millions and millions of words, could the real power of language actually be hidden in just 850?